the Yankees complete the sweep versus the Nationals, but is the narrative true? Does this team only beat bad teams? Are we only good versus bad teams? That's the real question. And that seems to be the narrative. And honestly, until they start beating some good teams, um, you know, that's just gonna be how it is. That's just how it is. But they nonetheless, man, we gotta keep stacking these wins. Every win is important at this point. Um, Little by little, we're inching closer to the Blue Jays, and so is the Red Sox, right? The Blue Jays lost yesterday, so we gained again a game on them yesterday. But the Yankees, they win. They win the same way they always win versus bad teams. A lot of home runs, 6 home runs today, 6 bombs. In 11, what was it? 11-2, 11-1 victory. Excuse me, yeah, 11-2 victory. I mean, look, I like to be excited. It was a great game. Max Fried pitched great and all that, but there's still a lot to desire with this team. I mean, look, until we start beating these good teams, it is what it is. Like, it's going to be hard to really get behind the squad. It really is. It's going to be hard to get behind them until they start doing their thing. Let me put this, but a big night, big day. Grisham started it off with the leadoff home run. He's killing it, man. Trent Grisham, say what you want about the guy. He is killing it, and he's at leadoff. He's been great. He's been a great leadoff hitter. Aaron Judge with a home run. That's good to see because he's been struggling as of late. So he hit a bomb there. Cody Bellinger with another bomb. He's having a great season. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason. Do we retain this guy? How much is he going to cost us? Ryan McMahon cranked the freaking 3-run bomb. It's good to see him hit something out the park. Like, start taking advantage of that short porch, man. You're lefty. Ben Rice. I mean, you can't say enough about Ben Rice. He's the man. And then Austin Wells. That was the shock right there. Austin Wells with the home run. Look, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? But a lot, Volpe had a tough day today. He left 5 runners on base, I think. Oh, he left like 5 runners in scoring position or something like that, man. Something bad. So he continues to struggle. I mean, it begs, it's hard not to notice this stuff. The fans are booing him, and at this point, why are the Yankees still running this guy out there? I think the Yankees are doing more. They're doing him a disservice by throwing him out there, because at this point, man, the fans are just starting to grow hatred towards the guy. And he obviously doesn't have it, right? I get it. You can't send him down to AAA. That is too late for that. And the AAA season is pretty much over right now anyway. So what's the point of that? But they got to sit him down. They got to give him an extended period of bench time. And I mean, you just have to, man. Look, like a day like today, right? Let me switch to this here. Let me switch here. Right, looking at these stats here, Volpe 0 for 5, right? He's down to 204. His OPS 662. Look, the guy needs a break mentally, physically, everything. Why they keep putting him out there is beyond me. They could have easily put Caballero out there. I think, if they're trying to save his feelings for whatever reason, it's even worse him going out there and the fans breaking his heart, right? You got to sit him. You just have to. They have to stop with this. Enough is enough, man. The poor guy, he doesn't have it right now. He just doesn't have it. Let him sit down, figure it out. I would say, though, he did hit the ball hard a couple times and just unlucky. But that's baseball. When you struggle, man, that's how it is. That's how it always works out. That's how it always works out. I'm looking at the ticker there on the bottom. Why is my ticker behind? There we go. What the hell's going on here? Yeah. I mean, look, the Yankees, we got to keep stacking these wins, right? I get it that these are teams we're supposed to beat. So let's beat the teams we're supposed to beat. And if we can at least, right, in the first 2 weeks, we're gonna face some good teams. if the first 2 weeks of September, if we can go over 500, I'm talking, what is it, 12 games? So we talking 7-5, 8-4, something like that. Then I really like our chances, man. I really feel like this team they can catch up, but look, it still remains to be seen. They haven't showed us anything yet for us to believe that they can actually do it. Me personally, I'm not gonna say I'm high in this team, but I haven't given up completely either. And I don't think any Yankee fan should. You know, at the end of the day, anything can happen, right? Is it likely? Probably not with this team, but it can still happen. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick. Katie's in the building. She says, "What's up, Aiden? What's up, man? Jacob Petruzzi, my guy." Let me put some background music for a little bit here. Who we got? Jose. What's up, Jose? Yeah, all is well, man. I had surgery yesterday, so I'm still. If you see me run out of here suddenly, that's because my bladder just told me, like, I gotta pee. You know, that's just how it's been for me. Tulip, what's up, man? D Train's in the building. Andrew, what's up, man? How them Dodgers doing? My man Andrew. Katie Harris says, doing great, enjoying the weather. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, you know what's crazy? Like against the Nationals, even if we would have won the series 2 out of 3, I think I would have been disappointed. In the 3-game series. Look, we're about to face the White Sox for a 4-game series. I'm looking for a sweep, right? At the very minimum, 3 out of 4. No way we split in that series. We can't afford to. These are the teams. You're the real MVP. These are the teams we really have to beat up on these teams. Especially if we're not gonna beat the good teams, then let's beat up on the bad teams. Who else we got in here? Get to that super rookie. Jose, what's up, man? 3.5 games behind. 3.5 games behind tonight after the Twinkies helped us out. Go New York. Yes, sir, man. Let me let this up. All right. Yeah, man, the Twins putting a beat down. Look, that's what I'm saying. There's going to be opportunities from here until the season's over. There's going to be opportunities. We've already missed a whole bunch of opportunities where the Blue Jays lost. Right now, especially in the last couple of weeks, we could have been caught up to them. But we gotta take advantage. We have to. There's going to be more opportunities. I really feel like, look, 3.5 games. We have a 3-game series versus them September 5th through the 7th. If we could be 3 games, if we could be behind them, 3 games or less, then that's a series. We could walk out of that series in first place. In all reality, we have 7 games until that series. They got to keep winning. They got to keep winning, especially versus the White. That's why I say just sweep the White Sox. They got to sweep the White Sox. They really do. And with that being said, that means that your best players got to be out there. Look, Giancarlo Stanton not in the lineup today. I get it. The guy needs rest. And look, Judge hit a home run today, so he went 2 for 4. So it's really hard to say that he shouldn't play. But Giancarlo Stanton is so hot. He is so hot, right? Especially, versus these weaker teams. You can give Judge a day off. I've been saying this for the longest already, and you guys know it. Now a lot of people are starting to bring it up. Like, hey, maybe Judge should sit down and Stanton should play. Maybe it should be that's the way it should be until Stanton cools off or Judge gets really hot. Maybe instead of Stanton being the one to play 1 game on, 1 game off, maybe that should be Judge's role for the time being until he's able to go out there. I don't know. It's something to consider, man. But Giancarlo Stanton is so hot that there's no way you can leave his bat out the lineup. It's not, especially these first 2 weeks from September 2nd to September 14th. He needs to be in that lineup every single day. He really does. But I don't know. The Yankees sometimes they do things different for whatever reason. Kid is doing great during the weather. Rail Bird, Jason, a win is a win. Volpe got to go at short. Volpe's not even hitting. Bad pitching. Yeah, he's not even hitting. Bad pitching. You know, the thing is, man, look, here's the thing. This is why analytics sometimes doesn't tell the whole story. If anybody's ever played baseball, right, you know that there's times, right? There's times that this thing right here, when you're hot, when you're on fire, this thing right here looks like a beach ball, right? You're hitting everything. And when you're cold, right now, Volpe, he's so cold, man, this thing looks like a BB. It literally looks like a BB. It's like trying to hit a BB with a straw that's coming in, and the BB's coming 100 miles an hour. Like, what are you going to do? He's, there's no denying it, man. The dude is struggling, and he's unlucky. That's the worst, too, when you're struggling and you're getting unlucky, because he hit the ball hard a couple times today. Just right at somebody. That's when you know you're in a funk. But I do think that eventually he's going to come out of it. The thing is that even when he's really good, he's not really that good. You see what I'm saying? Even when he's not in a slump, he's not even really that good. That's my thing. We've seen already what Caballero could do to a lineup, what he can do to a pitcher just on the bases. I mean, the dude stole the base yesterday before the pitch was even thrown. You know, or for Clayton Beater, he stole the base literally before the pitcher threw the ball. They didn't know what to do, and at that point, the pitcher, by the time he realized that, he didn't even want to move because he was afraid he was going to balk. You just got to let him take it. Caballero's he's a pest. He is a nuisance on the base path. Like, and we see he puts the ball in play. He does. And I said this several times. He does everything we want the Volpe to do. He does it. We gotta put him out there. We have to. Caballero needs to play over him. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to. Look, I was watching Clint Frazier's podcast earlier. He put out another episode, and shout out to him, man. The dude he's really cool. He actually responds to the comments, man, which is crazy. But anyway, he said, man, that Volpe, he didn't bash Volpe, but he did say, look, Volpe has gotten a bigger leash than anybody has ever gotten. Any young player has ever gotten on this team. You know, most people, he said it, like, if you don't play good when you're that young and you're coming up, especially an organization like the Yankees, if you don't play good immediately, if you don't, like, literally freaking blow everybody away with your playing,
you're the real MVP.
You won't last. But they've gave him the biggest leash out of anybody. And like, that's somebody who came up through the system, who's seen it. It's time, man. It's time to sit him down for extended period of time. Jose G says Volpe needs to talk to Big G and get some advice. They do talk, man, but I feel like, I don't know, man. But Big G's probably looking at him like, bro, ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. Nobody want to hear that crying or none of that, bro. Just go out there and do it. For real, this is the big leagues, man. That's what sometimes, I don't know, maybe I'm just old school, you know. But as a kid, right, when I thought of the big leagues, I pictured like just some mean old men. Like, just remember like the guys like Wade Boggs and just how hard it was. Like, baseball was a rough game, you know. These are grown men, and you know, what is Big G gonna? What is he gonna do? Give him a hug? Like, really, what can he do for the kid? I'm sure they talk. I've seen him in the dugout, so at least, you know, he just got to tell him, yo, man, just suck it up and get at it, man. The thing with Volpe, man, I think the Yankees are they're hurting him. The more they throw him out there, it's hurting him. I let him sit, right? Let him sit for a little bit. You know, if his feelings are hurt, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You know, he could still earn the spot back, but he needs an extended period of time of just coming off the bench, maybe to pinch run and stuff like that. The fact that they bring him off the bench for defensive purposes is crazy to me. The dude has the most errors in the league, and you're bringing him in for defensive replacement? Come on. Like, how can you take these guys serious when they do that? Like, come on, man. It'll make no sense. You just got to let him sit down and let him figure it out. Let him figure it out. And he might not figure it out this year. It's okay. There's always next year. See, here's the thing, guys, right? With Volpe. And the Yankees starting to realize this too. Volpe's not on a rookie deal no more like that, right? He's going into his first arbitration, so he's gonna get a pay raise, or he's gonna be looking to get a pay raise. And at this point, is it worth it, right? See, it's different, man. When the dude's playing, he's playing like trash, but he's getting bare minimum, right? The league minimum, that's what he's getting. Now he's going to arbitration. Well, what do you do? He's gonna go from what, 867,000 or whatever it is, to 2.5 million, 2 million, whatever he's trying to get. Now you start looking at when it comes to money. Remember, Hal loves money. When the money don't make sense, that's when it becomes a problem. You feel me? That's when they start looking at this dude like, yeah, they fell out of love with him once he starts costing more money. Caballero's still on a rookie deal, I believe. So they gotta, I don't know, unless Volpe's gonna take a pay cut, but at this point you still gotta perform. You still gotta perform. I'm gonna look it up right now, because I don't know if look, this is where is it at? I'm put it up here. This is Spot Track. All right. Wait for this thing to load. Yep. See, Anthony Volpe's going into his, all right, the league minimum is 879. Anthony Volpe's, he's going, after this year, he's going into his first arbitration. And look, let me tell you something. The Yankees are known to be, excuse my language, right? If you have kids around, tell them to earmuffs, right? The Yankees are known to be dickheads when it comes to arbitration, right? They did it to everybody. Shoot, they did it to Jeter, right? They're gonna tell you why you're not worth anything, and he's got a whole bunch of reasons for why he's not worth it. And that relationship, that golden child, golden boy can't do wrong relationship between him and the front office is about to change drastically. Know what I mean? It's about to change, unless they really love the guy so much that they're just gonna be like, here, what you want? 2 million? Yeah, take a raise. You deserve it. But really, does he deserve a raise? Does he deserve one? You got to think about it like that. And then you got this guy like Jose Caballero. Let me pull up his. This is why I say I think the Yankees are. Let me see if I spell this right. They looking at Volpe in a different light right now. They really are. Here we go. Now Caballero. Oh well, he's going into his first ARB too next year. All right, Jose Caballero signed a 1 year, $776,000 contract with Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, in 2025, Caballero will earn a base salary. Caballero just all right. So he's going into his first arbitration too. The estimate here says 2 million. I can't see. Oh man, it's so. Let me see something. Yep. Like 2 million. That's what they're estimating on Spot Track. But he's more worth it than Volpe is, man. That's what I think. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. It's gonna be interesting. But let's take a look at the standings right now. Let me refresh this, make sure it's good. Right now, the Yankees are 4 games behind Toronto, unless they haven't updated this. But we're 4 games behind Toronto as far as the AL East goes. Boston's right there too. They're 3.5 games back. And in the wild card, I mean, at this point, I'd say, look, it's still a lot of baseball left for the Yankees to fall out of the wild card. But I feel good that the Yankees will remain in a wild card spot. Now, look, that's unless something crazy happens, right? Unless those first 2 weeks of September, the team goes out there and just really we start losing bad. We start losing bad there, then it could get ugly. And that's a possibility too, because we haven't shown that we could really beat any of these teams. But as far as the wild card goes, I mean, I think You know, I think it's safe to say that we're in a good position for the wild card. We are. We are in a good position. Let's take a look at tomorrow's pitching matchup. If it's posted, it should come up right here. All right. That's Will Warren versus Davis Martin. I have no idea who that guy is. I'll be honest. We all know who Will Warren is, though. ERA is a little up there. But lately he's been like Will Warren has shown he's been really good at times, you know. And then there's times that he's just terribly bad. Well, so we'll see, man. But against the White Sox, I expect us to crush. We should be crushing this dude Davis Martin. I don't know who the hell he is. And Will Warren should have a good start. He should have a good start. Let me do this right here. I'm looking for these splits real quick. All right. So that's tomorrow's matchup. We'll take a look at I'm gonna take a look at how we fare against this dude if any of our guys ever faced him. This is Baseball Savant, by the way. What's the White Sox? What was that guy's name again? Davis. Right? So I don't even see him here. Bro, who was that guy? Let's pull him back up. Who was this guy? Davis Martin. There we go. All right. Versus Davis Martin, right? In total, only 18 plate appearances, 6 hits between these guys here. So Trent Grisham has faced him 5 times, has 4 at-bats, 1 hit. So not a lot of history with this guy, except for Caballero. Caballero is 2 for 2 versus him. I'm assuming 2 singles because it's not extra base hits. And Ahmed Rosario is 2 for 3 with 2 doubles versus this guy. So no reason why these guys should not be in the lineup tomorrow. So I would expect, I mean, even though it's not a good sample size, right? It's only a few at bats, but being that they didn't play today, yeah, I expect Jose Caballero to be back in the lineup at shortstop. Maybe Ahmed Rosario in there for in there at third base. You know, we'll see. We'll see what Boone does. But at this point, look, we can't be punting lineups either. I get it, we facing these bad teams, but no punting lineups. That's not what we're doing right now. We don't got time for that. But let me get back to the chat, man. NFE, what's up, my brother? Jose G. 4 games with Chirac. How do you say Chirac? Am I saying that right? Chirac? I don't know. I heard it's crazy out there, though. Jason, you sound positive today. I mean, it's hard not to be positive when your team has 6 home runs and scores 11 runs and you win, right? I get it's versus the Nationals. Not a big deal, right? But at this point, that's why the title says just stack up wins. We just got to stack wins up, man. Don't worry about who we face and stuff like that. We just need to keep winning. No punt lineups. You know, even if we take, let's say, even if we take 2 out of 3 of a series, right? Or even if we go like this series versus the White Sox, let's say we win the first 3, we shouldn't be punting the 4th game just because we won the first 3. At this point, we got to take every win. It should be like that every game of the season. But now more than ever, we have to take every win because the Blue Jays will lose games, right? They will, and so will the Red Sox, so will these teams, and so will us. We'll lose, right? But we just got to make sure we win more than them. If we could win, just specifically for the Blue Jays now, if we could win 5 more games than them for the remainder of the season, let's win 5 more than they do. We take first place, you know? So we got to kind of look at it like that. Let me turn this thing off here. Katie says, hopefully Stan will get some playing time in the series against the White Sox tomorrow. That would be awesome. Yes, it would be very, very awesome. It really would. It really would. You know, let me pull up. I want to see Anthony Volpe's stats real quick. And if you haven't, make sure you only 6 likes in here, 20 of y'all. Come on, man. If you haven't, make sure you like the video. Good. And remember, you can pull up anybody's stats, just simply typing their name with the exclamation point. Like so. TC, what's up, my brother? Man, I should have got some freestyle music for you. Blue Jays overrated. Call me Jason Custodian. Man, I've heard that my whole life. Custodian. What the hell? Then they got this guy in the minors, brother. He got sent down. They pulling him up as a minor league player. Did he get sent down? Why is it showing that? That's crazy. No, but see, because I wrote this program myself. So it's looking for Volpe in the minors. That means it couldn't find him in the big leagues. That's the way I wrote it to check. But that is insane. Hold on, let me try this. If I put 2024. No, that can't be right. All right, 2024. That works. Let me try it like this. Why is it showing him as a minor leaguer though? That was not doing that yesterday. I mean, or the day. You guys know it wasn't doing that before if you've been watching my channel. All right, this is 2025. And now I'm going to take the 2025 off. It's supposed to default. If you don't put it a year, it defaults to 2025. All right. No, it's not. That is weird, man. My bad, y'all. That's crazy. Okay, all right, now it's sure. I thought he got sent down for a second. It showed him as the freaking as a rail rider right there. Let me pull up Spencer Jones real quick. Because this is a guy right here that if he don't get called up this September, if he's not in the September call-ups, what are we doing? Right? If they don't call him up in September, really, what are we doing? And I get it. He's like the point is, I don't expect them to play him every day. And this is something Clint Frazier was talking about too in his podcast today. Like, especially when you're playing meaningful games, right? If we're playing meaningful games in September, which it looks like we will be, it's going to be hard to give some of these guys that we call up playing time. And, you know, that's one thing I was thinking about too. Boone worries me with that, especially with pitchers, because he will use these arms. And he will put them in situations that they have no business being in. I'm talking about these September call-ups. He will put these guys in situations that they're not ready for. They're not built for. And in games that we need to win, I hope Boone don't fuck it up. I really don't. I do want to see Spencer Jones. The thing is, though, how much time is he going to get, you know? Especially in the outfield right now. When you platooning between 4 people, you see that Jasson Domínguez ain't getting much burn. How are you gonna get Spencer Jones any playing time in September when these are games we need to win? But I still say call him up because they're not playing in the minors anyway. The season's over down there, I believe. So just call him up. At least he's around and he gets to feel how it is to be in the big leagues and he can make his debut. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe he catches fire. It seems like every level he goes to, I'm talking about Spencer Jones now. It seems like every level he gets to, he goes on a tear when he gets there. Then he cools down a little bit. So maybe he could come to the big leagues and just go on a little tear right there for a week or two and give the Yankees a little boost, a little jolt of energy. That'd be nice, man. I really would. But yeah. Pedal to the metal, man. It's go time, like TC says. Susan says, Dopey Boone will put in a beeline up. That's what I'm saying. That worries me. That worries me about this guy. Like, he will find a way to mess something up. How's Roxy doing tonight? What's the security do? Roxy's man, that little dog, I'm going to tell you right now, she's a lion. Right? She is a little lion. That's my heart. That's my baby right there. I love my dog. Where's the house music? I don't want to get copyright though, but man, I'm all about that, man. I'm a New Yorican, right? I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, born and raised in New York. I'm 40 years old. If you're my age and you grew up in New York, and especially if you're Puerto Rican, you listen to some freestyle music, some house music. Yeah, that was what we listened to growing up, especially with my aunts and stuff. Who we got in here? If Volpe and Wells start the first game of the playoffs, I'm done. I think that their ego is so hurt right now. And I think we're talking about I think Cashman and Boone, I think their ego is so damaged right now with this Volpe situation. And Wells. Every time we play a team, right? Every time we play a team that with a young prospect that we traded. Look, today Chaparro hit a home run today. Go figure, right? Every time we play these guys, we traded away these prospects. They kill us, man. He did hit a home run, right? Let me check. I could have sworn he hit a. Let me see. Yeah. Yep. Chaparro hit a home run off of Blackburn. I'm surprised Blackburn's still here. His days are numbered. Once Yarborough comes up, he's done, I think. But yeah, Chaparro, another kid, came up the system and said, "You should have never traded me." I wasn't really high on that dude anyway. He had some good moments with us, especially like a spring training. He shows some good he shows some life in his bat, man. But I don't know, man. I think that the Yankees' ego is a little hurt with this Volpe thing. They doubling down, tripling down, and I'm telling you right now, if I'm Hal Steinbrenner, I have to be pissed. You have to be upset. You know remember when Hal Steinbrenner, was it this year or last? I think it was when Volpe got caught. I don't remember when, but Hal Steinbrenner came up there. It was during spring training, and they were interviewing him, and he said that Volpe and Peraza are the future middle infield. That's the future middle infield for them. And look, we're like not even 2 years later, and we're here, where Peraza's not even on this team, and Volpe is about to get booed out of New York. This is where we at with them two. When Hal, and I'm sure that the only reason Hal believed that, because Hal's he's not, the only reason he said that is because that's what he was briefed. He was briefed by Brian Cashman, the front office, Mike Fishman, and all the cronies up there, and Boone, and they said Volpe and Peraza, that's the future of our infield right there. And look at where they at. And they invested a lot in these guys. They not only with the trades they missed out because they wouldn't trade these guys. Yeah, a lot was investing in these kids, and look what happened. If I'm Hal, man, I'm pissed. If I am Hal, I'm pissed right now. But I'm not, and he probably don't care. He's probably sipping champagne right now on his yacht somewhere in freaking I don't know, somewhere we can't afford, right? And so the Yankees brought up 15 batters in the third inning, and Volpe made 2 of those outs in that inning. Yeah, that sucks, man. That's tough. And we scored 9 runs in the third inning. 9 runs. Volpe says, "I'm not nervous yet. That won't happen until October." Oh, he's talking about his Dodgers. What's up, Ken? Demon D's in the building. What's up, Demon D? What's cracking? Nothing much, man. But Boone, no ring circus. Man, Stan has been on fire and also playing really good in the outfield. Man, Big G, look, I learned I never bet against Giancarlo Stanton. I'll be honest. I made the dumbest take on here. Thank God I didn't have a lot of y'all following me there, but you would have heard me make the dumbest thing I ever said before, and I regretted it instantly. Right? I had called for Giancarlo Stanton to be benched in the division series of the 2024 and 2024. After the first game that we played the Royals, it was the first game we played the Royals, right? And I think he got thrown out, but that was kind of Luis Rojas' fault. He sent him. He got thrown out at home, and his legs was just not there, and he didn't have a good game. And I said, man, the Yankees got to think about benching this dude, putting him in only to pinch hit. I went off. I made a whole video about it immediately, and then he went on the tear. The rest is history. He went on one of the most incredible postseason streaks, hot streaks, whatever you want to call it, ever. Right? Took us to the World Series, literally, almost single-handedly. And there was some help with other people, obviously, but he was the only one who really showed up every single time. And ever since that day, I said I would never, ever, ever speak bad about my man Big G ever again. I got humbled. Wells batting a whopping 206, 18 home runs. Oh, yeah, I forget pulling up Aaron Boone. Look at the young Booney. Man. Damn, Volpe hasn't got a hit since 4th of July. No, that can't be real. You serious, man? Nah, that's not real, man. So Volpe hasn't had a hit since 4th of July. That's bad, man. He can't. They can't. But they're gonna keep playing him out there, dude. My God, but eventually they're gonna look stupid like they always do, like they did with IKF. They ended up looking dumb. Like they did with Aaron Hicks, they ended up looking dumb. Like they did with Joey Gallo, they ended up looking dumb. And the list goes on and on and on. How many players they try to ram down our throats, pause, when the fan base is, we were here like, dude, what are you doing? You know, they kept running Gleyber Torres at shortstop when we said, like, this dude's clearly not good at shortstop. What are we doing? They threw Jazz at third base when we clearly, like, dude, the dude's not a third baseman. And eventually they always fall flat on their face and they have to make the right move. The Yankees like to try to get cute. They think they're cute. They think they know more than everybody. And, you know, but it's being proven over and over again that they don't. They really don't. And other teams' scouting departments run circles around ours. And it's just this team is being humbled. I would say that. I think that's what it is. They're being humbled for real. Like, that's how baseball is. And baseball is a humbling sport. It really is a humbling sport, man. When you think you're the shit, you find out you really ain't shit. You know, that's how baseball is. So you gotta just be humble and just do the right thing, man. That's my whole thing. These dudes trying to reinvent the wheel. We've been playing this sport's been played for over 100-something years, and they trying to freaking come up with new analytics and new nonsense, to be honest. New nonsense. Ace is in the building. What's good, Ace? Yassine, my brother, what's up, man? I send you your stuff too. I hope you get it, man. One of these. I still have to send Jose G's. I gotta send you yours. I gotta send the light to NYYJ. Forgot. And I think I got one more chain I gotta send out. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I gotta check my emails. But I don't know. I might give away another one of these. If not today, tomorrow. I gotta figure out. I don't know if I have any trivia questions there. Susan says, my friend's 3-year-old grandson looks at the game and says, damn, I'm done. He knows more than Boone. Nah. At this point, man, I'll put ChatGPT to manage this team. Yeah, Wells hit one today. He's gonna, every now and then he's gonna run into one. I mean, that's just the law of nature. I could go up there every time with my eyes closed and just swing. You know, just have somebody yell swing, and eventually I'm gonna hit one, you know. Jonathan, what's up, Jonathan? I don't see Jonathan in here. Where is he? Where's Jonathan? I can't find him. Yeah, man. Ace is in the building. What's up, Ace? Juan Soto. You know what's crazy, man? Like, Juan Soto is reminding me a lot of Cody Bellinger in the sense that Juan Soto had his best year playing here in Yankee Stadium with Judge. Right? And I think Cody Bellinger is having a great year. I think the stadium, well, not really much the same, but having Judge batting in front or behind him is really helping him a lot. And I think that But I understand he got to get his money, right? He's got to get the bag. But if he was to leave this team for money, and let's say a year, maybe some team offers him 6 years and we offer him 5, or whatever it is. If a team was to offer, if he was to leave for something like that, I think he's gonna regret it. He's gonna regret it like Soto. Even though Soto would never admit he regrets it, but I know for a fact that he regrets it. He said himself, playing with Judge is different because you're gonna get pitches to hit. Let me pull up Cody Bellinger's. And it looks like the fact that they haven't had an extension done tells me that he's going to free agency. He's gonna opt out. That's what I think. Let me take this down right here. Let's look at Cody Bellinger's. Can y'all see that? Let me know if y'all can see that, because I could zoom in a little tighter if I have to. I'm gonna zoom in a little tighter. I can barely see nothing. There we go. All right. Yeah. Let me see. Boom, boom. All right. I'm trying to see what's his what they're projecting that he's gonna make. That's what I'm looking for. They have that here somewhere. If he goes to free agency. 2025 opt-out contains a $2.5 million buyout. Let me see. Market value. There we go. All right. So this is Spot Tracker, and look, take this with a grain of salt. This is just a website, but I would say that a lot of times they're in the ballpark. At least they're in the ballpark. So they're saying his market value is going to be 6 years at 181 million, almost 182 million, at an average of $30.3 million per year. 6 years, right? Let me know in the chat, right? Do you do that? 6 years, 181 million, 30 per year for Cody Bellinger. If you're the Yankees, do you make that deal? Hit 1 for yes, 2 for no. I mean, I'm just curious. Or if not, I'll make the poll. I don't know. I'm thinking, look, I think I'll do it, man. He's been so good for this team. I think he fits in perfectly, and he's just a ball player, man. Dude, like I can't imagine the Yankees without him this year. Like if we didn't have Cody Bellinger, I don't know where this team would be at. I think they have to. How old is he? He's 30 years old. All right. He just turned 30. Literally. Just turned 30. So that takes him to what? 36, 37? I think that's okay. I'm okay with that. For Cody Bellinger, it hasn't, the back thing is an issue for me. He's had issues with injuries, and then early in the season, he was having some back issues, but it seems like he's gotten that under control. So I think I'd do it. $30 million for 6 years, or $30 million a year for 6 years, 180, 182 or something like that. I think a team out there is going to offer him that. So we got to match or beat him by a little bit, I think that somebody's going to give him, they're going to give him the bag that he's been looking for. They're going to give him the bag. I got to see a whole bunch of 1, 2. Jonathan says no. So you saying no, Jonathan? Jose saying 1. So yes. I said 1 for yes, 2 for no. 2 list says no. Ken says yes. Susan says yes. Yassine says yes. Real Bill, I don't know what the hell he's saying yes and no. D-Train says no, he's not paying him. D-Train says 30 per year is a lot. I would do 25. But that's what he's getting right now. That's what I'm saying. So why would he do that after he's putting up a big year? Would you do 25, 6 years? You think he'll take that? I don't think he will. I think somebody will offer him that 30 per year. I'm trying to see. Look at his comp. The comps here, right? So let's look at the comps. The comps here. Come on, Manny. I don't know about these comps, right? Manny Machado. That was a while back, so I don't want to look at that. But he's getting 31 million per year. When you look at Pete Alonso, when you look at Alex Bregman got 40 per year, even though it's a short only 3 years. Let me see. Statistical comparisons. So they're comparing him to Manny Machado, Rafael Devers. Based on stats, they're saying that this is where he matches up with. He's a little below these guys, though, I would say. I don't know, man. I think he's such a good player, man. And look, I was one of those guys that I didn't want to give him the money he's getting now. I was against the trade because I didn't want the Yankees to pay that money. I felt like it could turn into a Josh Donaldson situation, right? Where you get a guy $25 million per year, like Josh Donaldson did for 2 years. $50 could go down the drain. $50 million could go down the drain real quick. But he's lived up to it. He really has, man. He proved me wrong. He shut me up. Like, I'm a believer now in Cody Bellinger. I never really was. Maybe when he was with the Dodgers, yeah. But I wasn't a believer in the guy, but he's won me over for sure. He has won me over. I don't know. That's going to be... I know it's a little early to start talking about that, man, but it's something I've been thinking about. Like, it's going to get interesting, man. It's going to get interesting. Rubu says, hold on. Jason, my son says you are looking much better. Oh, Jason, my son. Yeah. Rubil's my unofficial dad, but he don't want to pay me child support. No, I'm just messing with you. Jonathan says, I think he was signed for less. Yeah, but how much less? At the same time, they can't disrespect him either. Like, they got to give him a decent offer. Or maybe meet in the middle, right? In the middle of 30, 25 to 30. So what? 27 and a half, 28 million for 60. But he's going to want his years, you know? I think a team will put it out. I think some teams out there might even offer him more than that in terms of years, you know, give him more years. Maybe that's something the Yankees do. Less AAV, more years. I don't know, man. With the way the Yankees have been lately, will they do it? Especially with the collective bargaining agreement coming up and all that stuff. Will they do it? TC says no, he's not signing more than 3 years. I don't think 3 years gets it done, man, unless he really wants to be a Yankee. Unless he really wants to be a Yankee, I don't think 3 years gets it done. Alonso was a Boris client, and he had to beg the Mets to sign him. Boris shafted Alonso as well. I don't think Boris shafted Alonso. I think they underestimated the market. I think, you know, these owners right now, man, they start banding together, even though they're not supposed to. But there's a lot of collusion. They're like, you know what? No. Like, they're trying to stand up to the players. That's why there's going to be a lockout here soon. Because a lot of these owners are like, no, we're not doing this no more. Like, you know, like, it's getting crazy. And to me, honestly, I don't know, 30 minutes is a lot, right? For me, obviously, that's a freaking, oh my God, that's like hitting the lotto. But I'm talking about in terms of like baseball players compared to the comps. Look, that's what 30 million is what Bryce Harper's making. That's what Manny Machado's making. But these guys signed years ago. You got Alex Bregman making 40 million a year for 3 years. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. The thing is, I think a team will give it to him though, and then we'll lose him. And if you lose him, then who you go after, right? You go after Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's gonna cost more. Let's look at Kyle Tucker. Somebody pull up his stats too, if you can. Let's see what they projecting Kyle Tucker to get. All right, market value for Kyle Tucker is this. He said, you into woodworking? Oh, man. Right now, I'm uncomfortable, man. I have a stent in my freaking kidney and in my bladder right now. So you can see me moving like that because it's very, very uncomfortable. Look, market value. Oh, my God. They talking about this dude's going to get $500,000. Oh, let me take this out of here. Look at those numbers, man. Compared to Cody Bellinger, the numbers are. I get it though. He's playing in Wrigley Field. That's a big difference, man. Wrigley Field and Yankee Stadium for a lefty, it's like night and day. That's a lot of money. Who'd you rather have? You got to dish out the money. Oh yeah, Harper's making less than a little less. Well, he signed for $270 million. He's around there though, like around $30 million. But the thing is that when he signed the contract, that was the rate then. That's what it is. These are the rates now. This is Kyle Tucker. What the calculated market value? It's going to be 12 years, 41.5 per. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Oh man. My bad, guys. I'm going to drink some water. Starting to have some pain here. Go over here. Transact position off season. Let's look at off season free agents. See who's out there. Okay. No, I don't want that. All teams. That's too much. I wish I could do it by like top to bottom. Market value. There we go. Not a lot of free agents this year. Not a lot. Some pitchers up there. Kyle Schwarber, but we don't need another DH. We don't need another DH. Well, that's the guy that got signed by the Orioles. So you saying go out and get Ali Rushman? Go take a chance on him? Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I was thinking about going tomorrow, man, but the bathroom at my job is down. So, like my bladder, the way it is right now, I need to be next to a bathroom at all times. D-Train says, I'm a little skeptical because he's been rough before coming to the Yanks. The same as Grisham. Yeah, you're right. That's why I was too with Cody, but man, now seeing him play every day though, now I'm like, damn, I realize how good he is. Like the value he's got is he's a good ball player, man. You can't deny that. You cannot deny that. Let me fix this real quick. Man, we only got 10 likes, man. That's rough, man. It's all right. Appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of those likes, man. Thank you. Sylvia Thompson, they should not allow deferred money. They should not allow deferred money so the Dodgers can't sign everybody. The thing is, though, the deferred money has been happening forever. It's just that they've taken it to a whole nother level. I don't know. Maybe in the next CBA, right? That's something they'll fight about. But the players' union, they love deferred money. They like it. Any way that they could get the players more money, they're gonna do it. They're all for it. And deferred money, see, like even like what Blake's right. When these guys deferred that much money, they get overpaid, right? So like Blake Snell, he signed with the Dodgers. He got overpaid a little bit. And I'm sure he said, look, if I'm gonna defer all this money so you can have a low AAV, then you're gonna overpay me, You're gonna overpay me. Even though most of that's deferred, so they're gonna be paying him long after he's done pitching. That's what it takes, to get a player to defer that much kind of money. And I think Ohtani really they opened the floodgates with that. That's what they did. They really, I'm not gonna say they broke baseball, but when you defer that amount of money, right? You kind of it's like a cheat code. It's not even fair. Even though not all of it for the market value really for Ohtani is like 45 million or something, like 40 million or 45 million. So his AAV is like 45 million. I mean, it gets deep, right? The way they structured that deal is so crazy. You the real MVP. It's gonna go down as his deal is gonna go down as like one of the biggest freaking. I'm not gonna say scammer. It's smart. It's smart, right? But at the same time, it's unfair. You know, it really is. Because he's one of a kind, first of all. And most players are not gonna take a deal like that. So this is this deal right here I'm talking about. Let me see. So all right, so it's towards the luxury tax, even though, let me zoom in. This is Shohei Ohtani's, yeah, right. He's only gonna be getting paid. Well, I don't show it there, but he's only be getting paid $2 million per year, right? But towards the luxury tax is $46 million per year. Right, 46. You see that? Because they were like, no way, Jose. You know, we get it. You're deferring all this money, right? And then everything else is deferred all the way out to freaking 2043. He's going to be getting $68 million from 2034 to 2043. That's crazy, right? That is insane, man. That's insane amount of money. But at that point, though, with the inflation and everything, it might not be the same. Sylvia says, thank you for the donation so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know what? Gotta give you some hearts. Give us some love. Quick poll. How many of you young ones have a 7 and 7? What? I don't know what you're talking about. How many of you young have a 7 and 7? What does that mean? Kyle, should I trade Spencer Jones for who? Ali Rushman is a good player, but always on the IL. Yeah, I think he's had a bad year. He really has. I don't know. I don't know if you take a chance. I'll tell you right now, somebody's gonna take a chance on him. There's too much talent there. And he's already shown that he could do it at a high level. So for him to decline that much it really hurt the team too. And Gunnar Henderson didn't early on in the season. He didn't do what he needed to do either. Yanks should defer Volpe's money to never. They should defer it a penny per year for 78 million years, right? Jose G says, come on, guys. It's free to hit the thumbs up. Let's show some love. It's all good, man. It is what it is. So my guess is Ohtani had a deal. Ohtani had a deal with other Japanese players to come to the Dodgers. I think, yeah, all that was rigged. Even the Roki Sasaki thing, that thing was rigged. I put out videos too at the time, and I said it, right? I said, if he goes to the Dodgers, it's rigged. And it's rigged because this is what gets me mad, right? All right, this is, oh man, look, we're about to get hot right now. When he came, right, the team that he played for over there, because he really wasn't supposed to come to the United States till this year, 2026. 2026 is when he was supposed to be posted. The team over there posted him. Why? I don't know why. Because if they would have waited one more year, they could have got a ton of money. Him too, he could have made a lot of money. And I get it, he hasn't been good, whatever. He could have waited one more year and gotten at least over 100 million, maybe 200 million. And the team that posted him would have gotten a huge percentage of that. They would have came off with millions of dollars. Instead, they just released them. And we supposed to believe that? They just released it out of the goodness of his heart because he wanted to come to the United States. Bro, I don't care. And then I was arguing with people here, and people were telling me, oh, you don't understand Japanese culture. They honor their players and all this. And I was like, look, I understand people. I don't care if you're Japanese. I don't care if you freaking Dominican. I don't care where you from. Money is money. And no team, especially a baseball team, an organization, is going to do that out of the goodness of their heart and blow $50 million like that when they could have just waited not even a year and made $50 million off this player. You know, so that was rigged. But that's a whole nother tantrum. That was right. Kyle Riley, 2024. Jose, when you do it, just exclamation point. I'll do it for you. Look, I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's got to be in this format right here. Yeah, that's the format right there. Yeah, my man went from 34 home runs to man, he might beat Judge's record. Just better get hot real soon. Really, really soon. Captain Morgan is 7-Up, tastes like cream soda. Oh, man, Captain Morgan. Man, I remember when I first joined the Army. It was like my first duty station. I had my boy Keck. Wherever you're at in this world, if you're coming across this, that was my guy, man. This dude though could drink, man, and every day he'd go to the they call it the Class 6, right, where they sell alcohol, and he'd get him a bottle of Captain Morgan, and that was the first time I ever had some Captain Morgan, dude. He was a funny dude. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, this is a crazy story, right? And it's nothing like, it's just, this is a buddy. When I think about this guy, I remember when we first got there, right? Because we truck drivers, and they sent us on a mission, right? We knew, we privates, the new guys, and I had heard there was this big white dude, like country fed dude, and somebody told me, they were like, yo, that dude, like, you know, he's very suspect. He's paused, if you know what I mean. And then ain't nothing wrong with that. They say that, like, they were saying he was like gay, whatever. I was like, ain't nothing wrong with that, whatever. So they put me in a truck with this other guy, and they put my boy Keck, who's like he was a young white kid. He was fun though, man. He was a cool dude, but he wasn't ready for that life, man. So when we come back from the mission, I see Keck. He's like nervous. I'm like, Keck, man, what's going on, dude? You all right? And he's like, hey, man. And I was like, what? He's like, this guy said I was cute. And I was like, what? And I was like, what'd you say? And he's like, I told him thank you. I was like, no, bro. You got to stand up for yourself, man. You can't do that. And he was like, no, you think I was like, dude, man. I was like, Keck, man, somebody tell you that, man. Unless you down with that, you better stand up and be like, hell no, bro. Hell no, you ain't going to call me cute. Yo, it was so funny, though. You had to be there. It was a funny ass day. And we was clowning them for, man, we clowned that dude for weeks with that one. We got trivia tonight. You want trivia? I got one. We'll do a trivia. Jason, what players would you resign except Cody Bellinger? Because we all know everyone wants to extend him, including us. I don't know. Who's a free agent? You got Trent Grisham. I think Trent Grisham, I will wait to see what happens with Cody. If we can't re-sign Cody, and look, this is all assuming that he's gonna opt out, because maybe he doesn't even opt out, but I'd highly doubt it. Yeah. So maybe if you don't get him, you go after Grisham or something, depending on what he's looking at. You know what? Let me pull up Trent Grisham. Let me see what what this thing is saying he's gonna be going for. Trent Grisham. Shit. Real Bill says, Cadiz, I wouldn't sign anyone. I would try out. I would have tryouts. Ken, myself, Chef Nick can handle it. Oh, hell no, dude. Hell no. I will boo you guys out the stadium. All right. Trent Grisham, market value. All right, so this is what we're looking at with Trent Grisham. His calculated market value is 11.9, so 12 million for 4 years. That put him at like 47 to 50 million. I can see that. That's very doable for Trent Grisham. I think he's worth that too. I think he's earned that. 12 million, 4 years. You know, but look, Trent Grisham's been really good. Somebody pull up the stats if you can, man, because I don't want to mess up my Zoom. But is he Cody Bellinger? He's definitely not Cody Bellinger. But for 12 million, is there more value to this deal, right? You guys see the deal there. Is there more value to this one than to Cody Bellinger's? Damn, I gotta take this off now. Is there more value to this deal? Sorry about that, guys. Than Cody Bellinger's 6 years, 180 million or whatever it is. I mean, yeah. Then you got Luke Weaver too. It's gonna be a bunch of, I'm curious to see what they think Devin Williams is gonna be looking for. Even though I don't think the Yankees are going to. I think that that whole Devin Williams thing, at this point, the Yankees, they should have traded him. They really should have traded him. They should have traded him, but it is what it is. His market value is, dang, it went down a lot, dude. That is bad. That is bad because he was anticipating getting Josh Hader kind of money, Tanner Scott kind of money. His market value is 1 year. That's all they expect the team to sign him for. It's for 1 year at around $5.8 million. Damn, he's really pitched himself out of like $100 million, Devin Williams. That's crazy. That is a real significant drop in price. Because I checked this about last year, and he was anticipated to get right around the kind of money that these guys got. Look at this. Right. Oh no, well, you got Edwin Diaz there. That's a lot of money, but they don't even put him before they had his comps. His comps were Josh Hader, Tanner Scott, and all these guys. They're not even putting him as a comparable, which is bad. He's falling off so bad. It's crazy. Crazy, man. Jason says, no way I'm touching Grish. That's another bad contract. Yeah. I don't know. It depends. I wouldn't give him maybe 4 years. But 4 years, 10 million, that's not really like risking much. I think that risking 180 million is way different than 4 years, 10 million or 12 million. That's not a huge risk when you think about it. Toronto Blue Jays are playing right now. Oh, I missed the score. I'll wait for it to come back around. Oh, you know what? I could pull it up right here. 1 second. All right. Let me pull this up real quick. See the score. Damn, 9-8 in top of the ninth. Damn it. Come on, Twins. You're right there, too. This is their last, top of the ninth. So we'll keep an eye on that, man. Damn, they had it, too. They freaking had it. These freaking dudes, they score runs, man. They score runs. They put a beating on Joe Ryan, too. Blue Jays, Twins. Freaking Toronto scored 3 runs in the 8th. These guys, see, that's the thing. That's just the things that, like, the Yankees don't do. Like, this team is relentless. I'm talking about Toronto. They are relentless, man. They know how to win. They really do, man. They don't mess around. Look at the box score for tonight's game. I thought they were done. The last time I looked at it, I was like, oh, man, we're about to get a game on them. Nope. They just took the lead. It's crazy, man. That is insane. Ben Rice, yep. AL East standings. Oh, I actually have that, but it's not working right now. I have to fix it. But if you want to see the AL East standings, I'll put it up for you right here. I need to fix it. I did have that before, but I gotta fix it, man. These are the standings right here. I was hoping if they would have lost, we would have been 3.5 games back. But man, it looks like they're about to win. It looks like they're about to win. Yeah, my standings don't work. Look, I had it like this. See, this is old. See, it says July 31st. I have to fix it. It's not updating. I'll fix it, though, eventually. I will fix it. All right, let's go over here. It's crazy. Rather re-sign Bellinger, 180 million. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think somebody will give him that money though, and I think he's worth it, man. It's a lot of money though. That's the thing. I get it. You know, to take on a contract like that, man, is it's scary. Very scary. Let's see what else we got in here. Yankees going for the division. I hope so, man. They better be. Yeah, he's making $5 million now, but he's gonna be making $12 million. So is he worth $12 million? He's performing like it. I'll tell you that. He is definitely performing like it. And if he could keep it up like that, I mean, I expect him to regress a little bit, but let's see. Give me a break, Jason. The Twins traded 11 players and at the deadline, no bullpen was. Yeah, I know, but they did it to us too, though, man. They don't. Look, ever since they took first place, the Blue Jays, I've been keeping a close eye on them. They're a really good lineup, Ken. They break down pitchers, even good pitchers. They break them down. Relentless, man. We saw them. They did it to us. So, I mean, look, I'm hoping that's a 3-run. That's a game, though. Do you think the Yankees, if we going into the 9th inning or 8th inning, down 4 runs or whatever it was, down 2 runs, you think the Yankees? I mean, they might, right? Because we put a beating on them too. I don't know. Toronto's lineup, man, they're tough. They're tough on any team. I got it. They play Minnesota now, but they actually play good against good teams too, unlike what we do. So, yeah, they put pressure on pitchers. That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it because they're playing the Twins. But look, man, they're like, I don't want to say that their offense is better than ours. I don't know. I think their approach to hitting, I don't know. They're relentless, man. They keep coming at you. They keep putting pressure on the pitchers, like Jay Snow says. They make you throw pitches, and they take pitches too. They're tough. They are. Real Bill says that child support money and buy a better computer, Jason. Oh, man. I wish. I want to upgrade. My computer's a beast. I built my own computer. This computer right here is a monster. Let me tell you. I built it to last. It's a beast. But sometimes I mess up though. And I had a while ago, it was not a while ago, but it was overheating at one point. I had to fix some stuff. Toronto's the best contact hitting in baseball. They always, Volpe's reset has not worked out. What reset? The dude sat down for half a game. He ain't reset nothing. When they send him for a week straight, then I'll be like, okay, it's a reset. He ain't reset yet. That's the thing. They can't even commit. I was listening to Joe Sherman. Or was it Joe Sherman? I think it was. And he was saying, look, this team, they can't even commit to the reset. They can't even commit to sitting this guy for a few days. That they're so bought in. They've doubled down. Their ego won't let them do it. Whether it's Cashman, whether it's Boone, somebody, that they can't even sit him down for a full game. You know? Like the first game, they sat him down immediately. They brought him in for defensive purposes, yet he has the most errors in the league. It makes no sense. He says my HP from 1999 was a monster too. Now I remember when I was younger, we had a compact Presario. You know what that is? That's when the monitors were big and fat, man. The compact Presario. I'm not old, but I'm getting there. Paying our turf doesn't help us either. Yeah, Susan, but I get it, but to me that's a cop-out. These guys are Major League Baseball players. They've played on turf before, I promise you. Most fields these days are turf. You know, they've played on turf. They know how to play turf. I don't care what you say. The fact that they just went to Toronto, they sucked. They play really bad. That's all it is. You can't use turf as an excuse because there is a difference between turf and grass, obviously. But they know how to. If you're a big league player, you know how to play on turf. Like I'm not buying that. At that point, you've played on turf plenty of times in your lifetime to know how to play on turf, to know how to read balls better and stuff. Because it does, the ball comes a lot faster and it doesn't take crazy bounces like that. Yeah. Let's see something quick. I'll put this over here. All right. Brewers playing Jays this Friday. Yeah, I'm hoping the Brewers sweep them. I want to sweep by the Brewers, but that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good one. It would have been more interesting if at one point they were the top two teams. I think the Brewers and the Tigers are the top teams now. But that would have been really, really a real good series. And it's crazy because both those teams don't get national coverage. You hear my dog barking? I don't know if you can hear that. Susan says George would have picked up Volpe and thrown him out the stadium. Yeah, man. George would have got rid of him. And he would have got rid of him and everybody who told him to keep playing him or whatever, He would have got rid of everybody. Which is why you don't listen to people who say batting average is a meaningless stat. If everyone is hitting, runs are scoring. Yeah, you know what it is? Look, teams like the Blue Jays, the Brewers, teams like that are they're really putting analytical people, like all the people that love the analytics, right? They love the launch angle and all that stuff. They really it's putting their theory to the test, right? Because these are not guys who's killing like the Blue Jays, they hit home runs every now and then, but these are guys that are more, these are teams that are more put the ball in play first, right? And they showing that it works, man. It really does. If you put the ball in play and you don't strike out as much, good things are gonna happen. And even if you face a tough pitcher, if you don't strike out a lot and you're putting the ball in play and you're taking pitches, that pitch count is gonna go way up, and they're gonna get out of you're gonna get to the bullpen a lot faster. So, what's AG said? Brewers, yeah, Volpe is still in the lineup because they'd be exposing the fact the Yankees organization can't develop players. Who was the last homegrown talent worth anything? Judge, homegrown, yeah. Joel Sherman, I like Joel Sherman a lot. And he said, look, in the last 20 years, if you would have traded away every prospect, with the exception of Judge, if you would have traded away every prospect, you would have been good. So only one of them, obviously, panned out to be something great, That was Aaron Judge. I'm trying to think. Right now, I'm drawing a brain fart. There's not too many, man. Not so many, and it depends, like homegrown or just have been in our minor league system, right? Because you got like a guy like Gleyber Torres. He's not really homegrown because we got him from the Cubs, but he did come up in the minor league system. So would you consider him somebody? Because I say he's been a pretty good success. Everybody can't be Aaron Judge, but if you can have a guy in your system come up and play 5 years in the big leagues, productive years, 5-10 years, that came through your system, that's extremely good, I don't know. Bill Bill says the White Sox series is critical. I think every series is critical right now, man. We just got to keep racking up wins, keep racking them up. Yeah, man, the Blue Jays are good. Jason, watch out for snakes coming in your back door, chasing your dog. When I was in the Air Force, my dog was chasing the back door by. Oh yeah, man. At work, they found a rattlesnake right in front of our door, and thank God they found it and I didn't, because I would have I don't know what I would have done, but it would have been good, man. Susan says our players go for homers, should hit singles and doubles. I mean, it's hard to just change something like that, though. That's why I like guys like Cody Bellinger. Like, he has different approaches for different situations. You just gotta just be situational, man. Like, sometimes these guys, they get me so frustrated because they just trying to hit home runs and everything. Especially, it's like, look, it happened today, right? Was it the first inning? Bases loaded, nobody out. I could have sworn, right, this first inning we only scored like 1 run. And that's not acceptable. Let me see. Look at the box score. Yeah, we only wanted to score 1 run, right? And that was on the Trent Grisham homer. But we had bases loaded. And nothing, man. And especially with Volpe and Wells, man, it seems like every time they come up, man, that's just 2 automatic outs. They'll kill a rally. Those 2 together, they will finish a rally. You can't have them together. You can't even, like, you can't play both of them at the same time, man. For real. That's 2 outs right there. So I say Bernie, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, Jack Maloney. Oh yeah, Blue Jays Yankees series is Bieber, Max, and Gausman. That's how he's lining up, but we'll see. We'll still see. Man, if y'all haven't hit the like button, please do if you can. Make sure you hit that thing, which is why y'all make so many mental errors. No pinstripe pride anymore. The Yankee mystique is gone. Can't buy championships. You need elite player development to go along with big spending. Yeah, but it's not only that too. Is that the guys that they spend on is sometimes is the wrong guy. Like, we've passed up on so many people, and the trade is a little bit of everything, right? With this team, with the Yankees, trust me, man. And I watch this team like a hog. It's not even just one thing, right? It's not just player development, right? It's not just who we signing. It's just the whole system is broken, man. I'm gonna be honest. The whole organization needs some real changes. Because whatever they're doing is not working. Like, we get beat on every front. We're getting beat on every front. The only thing we could do is hit home runs, and then we're proving that that's not gonna cut it, right? Eventually, the home runs stop. The ball stop going out the park, and then what? What do you do then? It's just not a winning formula, and I mean, everybody knows it now, except for the Yankees. They keep going out there trying to do the same thing. They're lining up for the Brewers and Yankees. A World Series, you think? That's crazy. They got 6 pitchers, so it lines up. Yeah, man, but in a series, man, it all depends. In a series, it's different. You know, it's all how these teams match up against each other. And I'll be honest, man, the Yankees don't really match up against these teams that well, because I'm talking about the American League East, mainly, because these are the teams that we're going to run into, because we keep getting beat by them. Unless they show us something in the month of September, they change something and start really playing these guys, playing these teams good and beating them. I mean, it's hard to really get behind them or think that they're going to be able to do it in the playoffs. Hold on, let me go see what's going on with my dog. I'll be right back.
Bullpen meatballs. Serving them up all 2025 season.
You better like the video, and while you're at it, subscribe to my friend Jasson's channel.
The reason your butt has been hurting is because you have YDS, Yankees Derangement Syndrome.
Hey y'all, don't forget, channel members can bring up live player stats.
Sorry about that. Look at here. This dog, man, it's driving me crazy. Yeah, Donnie Clark, what's up, brother? 12-game stretch after Chicago is going to be a real test. Yeah, it's going to be a real one. And don't sleep on the especially like Baltimore, don't sleep on them. They would love to throw a monkey wrench in our plans. They would love to just mess it up for us. Right? They would, any of these teams, that's what they're gonna play for. Because teams like Minnesota, Baltimore, the White Sox, they got nothing to play for. But if they could say, hey, we're the reason why the Yankees didn't make the playoffs, that's a W for them. That's a win. So they're gonna be trying to play us tough. Especially the end of the season. You know, no real reason to save pitchers or anything. They're just gonna be throwing our arms out there. We'll see. Oh man, yeah, prayers for your mother, man. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, man. I pray for you and your mom's, man. Hopefully, man, she gets better. It's tough, man. So I say F cancer, right? Jason says Toronto, Detroit, Boston, Houston, all teams we don't beat. Yeah. Yep. All four of them, right? All four of them. Today's home runs were good. They were. You know what? Let me see if I can I'll play one more time.
Grisham turns on that, rocks it deep to right field. Leaping is Cruz, and that ball is gone. Judge hammers that into center field and deep. Young back, looking up, it's gone. And now Bellinger annihilates that to right. Goodbye. Judge and Bellinger go back to back. McMahon cranks that in the air to right field.
You know, McMahon's home run was to me, that was.
And that is also gone.
That was one of the biggest
where,
one,
you know,
man.
you hit lefties, you hit righties, and you hit like that out of the ballpark.
Yeah, no struggle there.
Hey, where's Michael? See ya.
As Wells jolts one, high and deep to right. Back goes Cruz, and that also is gone.
Dang, you really want the trivia? All right, man. Let's do the trivia. I didn't want to do it because I don't have a lot of people in here. You know, usually I save it for when there's a lot of people in here, man. I'll give you trivia, but there's gonna be no giveaway. You know, just bragging rights. Should I don't know. Let me see. I don't even know if I have it set up, to be honest. Who do you hope you get in the wild card? I hope I get Seattle for some reason. Even though Seattle has good pitching and they got a better hitters now. I don't know. To me, I don't even care, man. Maybe Boston. Either team we face is gonna be tough. That's the thing. Either team we face is gonna be tough. I think we have more success versus Seattle than any other one of these teams. Well, actually, no, we will get. Yeah, it depends how it works out. Because Detroit got the best record right now. Then Toronto, so they're gonna get. Oh man. No, we won't face Seattle unless they overtake. Well, Seattle's right there too. Let me look at the West real quick. My bad. I didn't realize Seattle was so close to freaking the Astros. Yeah, they're only a game behind, so they've caught up. It could that situation could change drastically too. And obviously Kansas City's way behind the Tigers. There's no way they're gonna catch them. So everything could change. Look, I'd like the Yankees to take the division. I don't want to mess with the wild card, but it's looking like that's the route we're gonna go. But if the Yankees could take the division and skip all that wild card mess, that's the best situation right there. I think that's what really helped us last year too. If we could somehow get this division, I think there's a path to the World Series, right? Right now, there's a path for the Yankees to the World Series, but it's not the one you want, you know? If we could take this division, I can see a path to the World Series, man, you know? But the wild card is tough, man. Those 3-game series, and then even if you get through the wild card, it really puts you at a disadvantage for the division series, because now you've burned through pitchers and everything. And yeah, so the only good thing about the wild card is that you get to stay seeing live action, right? So like last year, we had like a 2-week break from the end of the season to the division series because this dog, man. She got kicked out. She making too much noise. Yeah, I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. Yeah, I think the best bet for the Yankees, the best thing, it's gonna be tough, man. The best thing is to take this division. That is the best. That would be the best thing for the Yankees to do, in my opinion. Obviously, for multiple reasons, you want to be first place, but the way the pitching would line up too. Just imagine even if we go in the wild card, let's say we even if we win both games, right, and then go to the division series, it really throws our pitching off because now at that point you wasted whoever your top two is, Fried, Rodon, Fried, whoever Schiller, whoever you Fried, Hill, whoever you want to put in that scenario. If you go 3 games, it's even worse because now you burn your 3 best pitchers. Now you're looking at the back of your rotation going into the division series, you know. So, but at that point, man, you look in the playoffs. You got to play every game. Every game is game 7. So it doesn't matter how many pitchers you got to throw out there. You got to play for the game, for that day. You got to play like it's your last. And Texas is going off on the Angels. It's bad, man. 20-3. Wow. That is really bad. The real games is going to see. Well, that's what we was talking about, Donnie. I know you missed a lot of it, but that's why I pulled up this here. Yeah, those first 2 weeks of September, that's the real test. But even then, though, we gotta beat these bad teams. These bad teams, we gotta beat them. I mean, I'm talking about 900% win over these bad teams. And then the good teams, we gotta just at least be above 500. I'm talking 7-5, 8-4. Something like that. But we gotta, if that's the way that we're gonna do it, we gotta kill these bad teams. Kill these bad teams and hope that Boston and Toronto, they lose games, right? At the end of the day, look, we're down 4.5 games. Because freaking Toronto, I don't know how they came back and won that damn game. Ah, man, it's frustrating. We could have been down 3.5. But anyway, we're down 4.5 games. We got to just win like 6 more games than they do before the season's over. We got to win whatever. We got to win more than they win, pretty much, man. By 6 games, too. So just keep racking wins. Keep racking wins. Don't worry about whether it's good or bad teams. And no punting, right? At this time, the Yankees, we've burned that option. We don't have the luxury of punting games. We don't have the luxury, right? When we call these guys up, this is why I'm afraid with Boone. I'm afraid that when we get the September call-ups, that he's going to try to start playing these guys a lot. And we need to win. We can't. We got to put our best guys out there. It doesn't matter, you know? And we put ourselves in that spot by losing all these games down the stretch, man. So I hope he doesn't try to experiment with some of these young kids and putting them in high leverage spots and stuff like that. No, none of that stuff. My cousin DJ Bam Bam, what's up, Bam Bam? Healing men's hearts. Yanks will be lucky to win 4 games against the Red Sox, Astros, Jays, and Tigers. Bro, if they only win 4 games, it's a wrap. You know, that's embarrassing right there. Especially being that they've spanked us all year. We have to go in there and literally just take series. 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, if possible. Jason says, unless the Yankees go off hitting home runs, I don't see them making a deep run. But that's the thing. They can do it, man. We saw last year we know what Giancarlo could do. Giancarlo literally almost carried us single-handedly. Like, it's unlikely the way we've played, right? But it's not out of the pot. It's not out of like it's not out of the realm of possibilities, right? That we can go to World Series. Like mathematically, we're not out of it. It could still happen. Anything can happen. We can get there, you know. They just gotta play, man. They just gotta keep winning. Stop punting. Stop doing this Volpe bullshit and putting him out there. No, he's on the bench now. Caballero is the real deal. We've seen what he can do. We've already seen what he can do, and we like it. And you can tell that Boone likes it, and the Yankees like it. He's doing everything that we want Volpe to do. So we got to put this guy out there. We got to start playing these dudes. Stanton and Judge, look, if they got to figure that out too. Something's got to give. I think they're gonna try to bring Judge out there real soon. I think they are. Look, and the whole Judge thing, I don't know. It's gonna be iffy. I don't want to see him out there on the field. Look, Stan hasn't been terrible. He really hasn't been terrible. I don't want to risk Judge throwing or trying to throw somebody out from right field and just hurting himself, man. That's the last thing we need. That is the last thing we need. I don't think Boone would play the call-ups that much. He can't. That's the thing. He can't. Unless one of them is just like killing it. Especially the first 2 weeks, he really can't. But the thing is, though, healing man's were hard. And I appreciate you commenting, man. I'm afraid that he will, though. Don't underestimate. I'm afraid that he will. Especially pitchers. Especially arms. When he's running out of arms, he will use these guys, man. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Like the first 2 weeks, I don't think you play him much unless it's a blowout. But he's gonna do it. He is, man. I know. He just will. He will. He'll do it in the worst possible situation, and we're gonna be wondering why the hell is this freaking guy, this rookie, in this spot, you know, when you got Ben Rice on the bench or somebody else on the bench. This is exciting. Come on, September's approaching. The weak teams have a reason to try. I love it, Jason. The check is in the mail. Yeah, the weak teams have a reason to try. September, man. September baseball is gonna get good. I'm hoping that we could give them a run for their money, man. Like really, like get real tight, closer to Toronto. But Toronto, man, they tough. They really are. Look, they wanted. They came from behind. Another comeback win for them, late in the bottom of the 8th. You know, it's gonna be tough. Toronto's gonna be tough. They have the jaws of life on that first place spot in the AL East. And it's going to be tough for the Yankees to catch them. It really is. Spencer Jones, another home run to bus. I have my Yankees and Dodgers neon signs shining behind me. I still believe the Yankees and Dodgers will meet again in the biggest stage of all time. You think this year they're going to do that? That'd be crazy. Stan can hit, but he cannot run. Got to remember that. I know, but what I mean is I'm willing to have him out there at right field. He's not terrible either. You know. I don't know. They got to figure that out because it comes down the stretch. You got to have those two in the lineup at the same time. And Judge playing right field right now with his arm is scary. I think that me personally, right, my gut is telling me that there's more. And I've said this from the beginning of when he first got hurt. I was like, look, it's going to take longer for him to heal. I hope they don't rush him out there. And I hope that he don't rush himself out there, knowing that he needs to help the team because, you know, he could do more harm than good going back to right field. That's what I think. So I don't know. And I don't have the answer. I'm not sure what they should do, but they got to find a way to get both of them out there. And the only real way to have Stanton and Judge out there right now without hurting Judge is having Stanton in right field, but then you risk him getting hurt out there. But look, man, Stanton, I think he'd be all right. Like he's not the greatest defender, obviously. You're not gonna see. He's not freaking. He's not Cody Bellinger out there, right? But he could hold his own. He could hold his own, man. I think he'd be all right, especially at Yankee Stadium. Like it seems like he has a feel for that right field there. He knows how to play it. Uh, 11-4 these last 15 games. I don't know. They probably are. The thing is, the 4 losses are the biggest losses that we should have had. We should have beat. We can't lose 3 straight to freaking Boston and get embarrassed like that. Not at home. Can't. Sip. Yankees for the win. This dude's hilarious, man. We sipping that Kool-Aid, man. We hit 6 home runs, bro. I can't get a little taste of the Kool-Aid. Just a little sip, man. Damn. Yankees for the win, man. You killing all my joy, bro. He said Yankees for the win is like, man, we drinking the Kool-Aid. He's still, you know what? And I'll be honest, man. Like, this team ain't there, right? But I'm still. You never know, man. You never know. It's highly unlikely, but you never know. I'm still gonna root for them. I'm still gonna root. If we get to the wild card, I'm still gonna root. I'm still gonna be mad if we lose in a wild card or anything. You know, that's just how it is. That Kool-Aid's so refreshing. Yeah, man, it tastes great. Have us won with the 5-1 win. With everyone getting base hits and everyone just smashing home runs, it's not the way to win. Yeah, you're right. I was just saying that. You know, just hitting home runs. That's all we could do, and then eventually the home runs stop. And then what do? Anything can happen, though, man. Anything can happen. But I mean, you're right. It's not a formula to win. It really isn't. You gotta know how to advance runners. Look, a telltale sign was. The first inning of this game, we had bases loaded and we couldn't score. We couldn't score. 2 strikeouts and a flyout, and we were done. That can't happen, man. You got bases loaded, and dudes just striking out. I think it was Jazz, Wells. It was 2 strikeouts, Jazz, Wells, and then Volpe. This did nothing, right? Essentially. Man, Bill got you got me looking like you, Bill. Man. Wildcard teams have won the World Series. I mean, it can happen, man, but this team got to catch fire. Jason, the doctor told me that the transplant is kicking in. I love it. I can make it to at least 100 years old. Well, I hope so, man. I hope so. God bless you, real Bill. God bless you, man. Shoot. If I can make it, I don't know how I'm 41. I'm 40. I'm about to be 41. And I feel like, man, it's all downhill from here, man, sometimes. But I'm going to try to, once I get this, I just had surgery today and they put a stent in me. Everything. Once I get this out, man, I'm going to start working out. I don't know if you know, I was in the Army for like 10 years. In my lifetime, man, right now I'm a little overweight, but I've been in really good shape before. And I'll show you the pictures to prove it. I've been jacked, you know. I know what it feels like to be in a gym rat and eat healthy and all that. And I could do it again. It's just, like I was telling my mom, it's the discipline.
You're the real MVP.
It takes a lot of discipline. And that's the one thing I don't have the discipline no more. But it takes a lot of discipline. But anybody could do it. Yankees for the win. Appreciate you, man, with the 2. Good pitching always prevails over home runs. Yeah, man. That's the thing. We're not even... On paper, it looks like, according to the Yankees, we hitting good. Because we hit home runs versus shitty pitchers. But you're right. Look, you're right. In the beginning, if you tune back to when I started, I said it, man, that... You know, yeah, it was a good win, but until we show that we can beat these good teams, none of these wins really are gonna move the fans. We're just gonna be like, all right, here we go, same old thing. And it's the Yankees' fault. They put themselves in that spot. So I expect them to not lose a game versus these bad teams. I want them to sweep all of them. Especially if we can't beat the good teams, then we better win every game versus the bad teams. We'll see. But the thing is, during the playoffs, at some point, especially in the playoffs, you're gonna run into the good pitching. You're gonna run into the good teams, and here's what it is. Man, my dog is going crazy. I don't know. I can't even. I'm trying to think, but I hear her barking. What's going on with this dog? We're heading home runs versus crappy pitchers. You just said it. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying it's hard to be excited about that, because it's like, okay, all right, we know you can do that. That's cool. It's like a magician showing you the same trick, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, I get it, it's cool, but like, all right, let's see you do something else now. Like, we got it. You know, we've seen this already. Let me see you do it versus this guy, though. Let me see you do it versus Gary Crochet. Let me see you do it versus I don't really understand. Look, even versus Tampa Bay, we had 9 home runs, right? And then immediately got shut down, right? We went 18 innings at home versus Boston. 18 innings, 2 games, only scored 1 run and got embarrassed, dude. After coming off a historic, that's what they say, historic road trip where the Yankees hit historic number of home runs in 2 games. How you hit his franchise record home runs in 2 games and then literally go ice cold, man? I'm talking ice cold. Don't make no sense. But you know the thing that kills me though, Celia, is that a good team, right? Because you're gonna face good pitching, and good pitching will beat good hitting most of the time, right? But good hitting, right? All because good hitting, what they do is they're gonna work at bats. They're gonna make that pitcher at least work. That's what good hitting is. They may not get hits, they may not score runs off of a good pitcher, but they're gonna make that pitcher work and get to the bullpen. That's what good hitting teams do. We couldn't do that versus Brian Bayo. We couldn't do that versus Gary Crochet. Like, that's what really frustrated me, especially that first game with Brian Bayo. There's no reason he should be going into the 8th inning with only like 80 pitches thrown or something like that. Something crazy. Like, this dude only threw it. It was a lot of swinging for the fence on the first pitch, second pitch, stuff like that. And it's like, come on, dude. Look, obviously this dude is freaking shutting us out. At this point, let's just try to work the counts. You know, let's make him throw pitches so we can get him out of here and go to the bullpen. But instead, they let him pitch 8 innings against them. The dude didn't even throw like 100 pitches, literally. That's embarrassing. You can't do that. You know, that stuff like that. That's what kills me. That's when I see, okay, the pitcher's good, but the hitting team, the team is bad. The offense was bad, right? Because even another team, even if they don't score a run on this dude, but they could get him out of there in the 5th inning, I would say that they did their job. They got the guy out of there. You know? Let me see something. This is the Bayo game. Yep. Let me pull this up. Let me see how many pitches thrown. Where is it? I'm trying to find out how many pitches he threw that game. Oh yeah, he threw 92 pitches. Look, I'm gonna show you. Look, 92 pitches. And 61 of them were strikes. This guy pitched 8 innings and threw 92 pitches. That is what really bothers me. That tells me that they weren't working hard. He just dominated them. Oh, 7 innings. He pitched into the 8th, though, going into the 8th. That tells me they didn't work the counts at all. Let me turn off this background music. Because the Dodgers are in first place. Are they really? Yep, by a game and a half. Damn, the Padres, they couldn't hold it. Padres are going to Padre. Schlittler is an ace. I wouldn't say all that, man. He looks like it. He looks like he could be a future ace. I don't want to say that because we do this all the time, man. and we start saying comparing. People start comparing him with all kinds of, like, look, he's pitching good. That's great. Let's see what happens, right? I don't want to get too high or too low. People are already like, oh, he needs to be the game 1 starter in the wild card. And I'm like, whoa, slow down. You know, the guy literally only has like 8 starts in the big leagues. You know, if hitters start figuring him out or something, or find something, let's give it some time. But he is good enough, though. He's good enough. He ain't the ace of this team, not yet, man. I gotta see more, man. I'm not gonna put all my eggs in that basket, you know. Not yet, anyway. I like the guy, Cam Schiller. He's looked excellent, but I think a lot of us Yankee fans are getting way ahead of ourselves, right? We're getting way ahead of ourselves. Let's enjoy. Let's slow down. Let's see what happens, you know. Let's see what happens. He's only got 8 starts, guys, in the big leagues. Or what? Even I don't even know if I might be giving him more starts. He only has not even 10, not even double-digit starts in the big leagues. He has looked good so far, but we need to chill. Yankees for the win says, fuck the Dodgers. Go Padres at 60-1 for 1,000. That's the odds right now, 60-1. But you know what it is? The Padres, you know, it's crazy. I had this dude that I work with, he's a Dodgers fan. And I told him, when the trade deadline finished, I said, man, the Padres, they got this guy, they got that guy. And he looked at me, he said, it don't matter. And I was like, what you mean, you're not nervous? He said, no. And I was like, why not? He said, because the Padres are going to Padre. I was like, what the fuck that means? Like, sure, the Padres are going to Padre. They'll mess it up. And I was like, damn. And he seemed confident. He's right. He's right, because they had a big opportunity. They took first place for like a day. And now they're back down to a game and a half behind. I appreciate the Yankees for the win. Appreciate the 2, man. Thanks, brother. Oh, they're 12-1 now. I got them. Oh, you got them at 60-1? That's crazy. So what you say? So now that they're 12-1, how do you make money on the 60-1 though if they make it? He was explaining it yesterday. So you buy one that they're gonna make the playoffs to offset the other one, and you keep the difference. That's how that works. The Dodgers are going to go up another game in a few minutes. Nope. You know, like I was happy with the moves that Cashman made. I'm not gonna lie. I came up here and said it, and I'm still happy with it. They just haven't been working out. But I also acknowledge that a real all-in, right? An all-in move would have been getting freaking like Duran or Mason Miller, somebody like that. That's a real all-in move. Look at son up. That would have been a real all-in move. Now I want to play this, but I don't want to get a copyright. Let me see if I could. All right, I'm gonna play this right now. Peep this. This is what all in looks like. I did this before too. This is what going all in looks like right here. Anyway, yeah, and instead we got freaking what we got, man. I'm happy with what we got, but man, I wish, and it makes you wonder too, like why didn't they pursue some of these guys? And sometimes I wonder, does Cashman even believe in this team really? But then I think that he was trying to go all in because he didn't trade Devin Williams. Like, why not trade him? I was saying, like, why not trade him? The dude, at the time, he was pitching a little bit better but he's shown that he was blowing saves. I was like, look, he's not gonna be here next year. We already gave up Caleb Durbin for him. Why not trade him and get something back for him? Obviously that's not what happened. Am I spelling this right? I think so. I mean, it's not great, but it's pretty good. I like that on base percentage. It's better than Volpe right now. Rubo says, my son told me that the Dodgers will have 6 players back from the IL before September's even over. Yeah, I feel like they planned it like that too. That's why they didn't go hard at the trade deadline. What's the point? They were going to get these players back anyway. That was their trade deadline, the IL. The IL was the trade deadline. Honestly, I really like most of Cashman moves aside from Bird. I liked all of them. Even Bird, I was happy with Bird. I didn't think he was going to be this bad, though. I was happy with all the moves, especially just the fact that they made the moves. Look, I think that Jose Caballero and Amer Rosario, those were the best moves. It's turning out. And David Bednar probably. Duvall, I like Duvall a lot. He has the talent, man. That dude has the stuff to be filthy if he could find the strike zone, right? When he finds the strike zone, that dude's throwing a cutter that's like 95 miles an hour. He is tough. He could be a lights out. He could be like a Duran type of pitcher, like one of flame throwing guys. But you got to throw strikes. Nobody cares how hard you throw a ball for, right? Somebody told me that a long time ago. This guy was throwing pitching, but he was wild, but he was throwing hard. And the coach told him, nobody cares how hard you throw a ball for. Freaking stop trying to throw it hard and throw strikes. No one probably wanted Williams. No, somebody would have took him. They could have got something for him. It might not have been what they wanted, but they could have got something. When I said I have that ticket from the Circa Casino, his grand pays out 60 because you got the 60-1. So if the Padres don't make it to if the Padres don't win first place, right? That's what you took for the division. If they don't win first place, I can sell the ticket on many platforms for 28. Take a profit. Oh, and lock in so you could resell the ticket. I see what you mean. I didn't know. See, now it makes sense. So it's worth it. It's like a stock, It's like a stock. I buy this stock today. Let's say I buy Apple. Let's say I buy 10 shares of Apple or whatever. And they go up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sell some of these and just take some money off it and sell it for a little bit more or whatever. Or sell it for whatever it is and just take what the profit and move on. I see what you mean. So the Bulldog, yeah, Bednar's been all right, but the thing is, I think they started overusing him a little bit. We'll see. If Clay and Beater, the thing is, he looked good, man, with Washington. Look, I'm sure he was happy. A lot of these guys, man, this is what Clint Frazier's podcast, right? He was talking about this today. He was like, look, if you're not gonna give these guys a chance to play in the big leagues, most of these guys, they'd rather get traded to another team, right? They get it. Like, you want to be on the Yankees because it's the Yankees, but you also want to have your dreams come true. You want to play in the big league, so they'd rather go to a Nationals or something like that where they're gonna get a shot and they actually gonna play and stuff. Clay and Beater, he has stuff. He got the stuff to be good, but he just didn't show it to us when he came up here this year. The Dodgers bullpen. Oh, Momo, what's up, man? Dodgers are beatable if you don't make errors. Yeah, it's too bad we make errors. The Dodgers bullpen is en fuego. They're on fire. They're shutting down everyone. All them guys were hurt. Now they're coming back. That's the thing. They got two of the best freaking closers on that team. I don't know if Kirby Yates is healthy yet, but they got Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott, freaking what's the guy training? They got a squad. They got a good bullpen. Look, that team is stacked. When they healthy, if all their players get healthy, they are super stacked. Yes, sir. There are many platforms as long as it's through a well-known casino in Vegas. Many people will risk 27 and then they gamble on the rest of the 33 left on the ticket. I'm gonna look into that, man. I gotta start studying that stuff. I'm not a good gambler, man. If I put my money on something, it usually goes bad. Any team is beatable if you don't make errors. Look at my favorite team, the Yankees, but the Dodgers are a machine. Yeah, they're stacked. Yeah, yesterday the Yankees would have lost 1-0 if it weren't for Stan. You're right. But with the sweep, let all of us put up the. I can't. Let all of us put up the what? The ones and acknowledge the Yankees. I mean, nah, man, they not getting that much credit from me. Hell no, Donnie, man, we gotta check, bro. You all right, man? You okay? You lost your damn mind, bro? These dudes just got embarrassed a few days ago by Boston at home. Nah, man, we not giving them that much credit. That's the least they can do is sweep these guys. They better go in here and sweep the Chicago too. Until they stop getting embarrassed by these better teams, right? We're not showing them love, man. We're not showing them. Let's all put the one. I'll put the middle finger up. That's what I'm putting up. Like, no. We're not falling for this again. No, sir. No, sir. Not me. Right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Don't overlook the White Sox. They are MLB team like the Nats were. I know, but we gotta. That's what I'm saying. But we gotta beat these teams, man. If we're gonna lose to Boston like we did, the only way they make up for it for me is sweeping these guys. I'm talking about at least 3 or 4. I'll give them 1. Just sweep them again, or 3 out of 4. So that way we go into Houston at least not stressing, right? Because if we go over here, let's say, look, if the Yankees split a series with the White Sox, bro, that's not a good look. We're back in panic mode. You understand what I mean? We're back in stress mode because we're about to face Houston, Toronto, Detroit, and Boston. Back to back to back to back. We gotta find a way. We gotta win every game, man. That's how it feels. You can't, you gotta at least, I get it, they trying to win every game, supposedly, but if you're really trying to win every game, you put your best players out there every game. That's what we have to do from here on out. We have to. Unless they just going to be like, you know what, we're okay. We're just going to shoot for the wild card. That's what we're aiming for. As long as we have a wild card spot, we're okay. That's a different story, man. Then you could kind of rest people and stuff. But, you know, Celia says, when you beat up on bad teams and you lose to good teams, that basically means you're also a fairly bad team. No, that's what I'm saying. They just we're not. Yeah, we're not a good team, man. We got to beat these guys. There was a way I heard somebody say, the way I put it is like we're good at beating bad teams. We're a bad team that's good at beating bad teams, if that makes sense, you know. Real Bill says, when I was playing and then coaching, I would look at the players' eyes. Hey, yo, not just playing. I would have been like, Coach, bro, you looking in my eyes, bro? What's going on here? You're just looking in the eye. How old are these kids, Bill? What's going on here? How old are these guys? I'm just playing. He said he would look at the players' eyes.
You the real MVP.
It's always in the eyes. I feel you though, man. Sometimes you're right. You know, sometimes you can see like that's why like Giancarlo Stanton for some reason when he plays, I could see it like he's about that life for real. Yankees for the win with the 5. Appreciate it, my brother. Says Vegas did not move our percentage by 1 anything after tonight. Yeah, because they know we can't beat any decent fundamentally sound teams. We are the garbage collectors. And yeah, with the sweep too. Garbage collecting with the sweep. So our odds didn't move. Not it didn't go better or worse. That's what you're saying. Man, I think until we start being good teams, man, that's the narrative. The narrative is going to be the Yankees can't be good teams. And they could barely be bad teams. They can only be bad teams if they hit home runs. If we don't hit home runs, we don't win. Look at great players' eyes. Stan has the eyes. Yeah, he got the eyes. I guess. What are we talking about, Bill? You looking dudes in the eyes, man? No, I'm just playing. Jason, let's put up those ones for Roman Reigns this weekend. I don't really follow wrestling like that, but I like Roman Reigns because he's Samoan and my wife is Samoan. And my kids are Samoan, you know. Yeah, but I haven't followed wrestling since I was a young, you know, not since Stone Cold days. Stone Cold Steve Austin was like the last real wrestler that I was really, really into. And that was like right before John Cena and stuff came out and all that. Real Bill P for Yankees manager. Yassin's going to be the general manager. Yassin be having all the trades, man. He be having all the trades. Man, I appreciate y'all though sticking with me. I've been on this thing for a minute right now. Only 27 likes. So if you haven't liked the stream yet, just hit that thing, man. It's right over there somewhere. Just hit that thing. Hit the like button. Helps the algorithm. Helps the algorithm push my shit out there. More. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, they had the eyes. How the eyes, man? Tell me, are these the eyes? Do I have the eyes? No, now I know what you're talking about though, man. They got that's just that they had the what do you call that? They did just that killer instinct. They got that killer instinct, like they by any means necessary, they gonna find a way to win. And yeah, man. Sometimes you're right. Giancarlo got it. I don't know if the scene. We'll see. We'll see what kind of fight they got in them. We'll see. Yep, we will see. No, it's this right here.
What? 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 What?
It's the give me the ball look. Yes, sir. What time is it now? 10 o'clock. My cousin Bam Bam's in the building. Bam Bam, what's up, Bam Bam? I gotta send you some stuff too. I gotta finish printing them out. Look what I got a whole bunch I gotta send out, man. I'm working on this stuff. Oh. Good old Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner. Yeah, the stunner man was the shit, man. In school, we used to catch people and just hit them with the stunner. Boom. Or the Ric Flair. Used to catch people with the Ric Flair. Bro, when I was in middle school, in junior high school 22, like if you stood on line, right, you had to stand on line like this. Because there was this kid named this kid named Danny. His dad was like a wrestler. He was huge, man. He had like freaking. This dude was in middle school with a whole full beard, and he would go around just smacking people's chest. Woo! Psh, just back slapping your chest. Woo! Crazy. What's wrong with you, Roxy? You going crazy out here? Roxy, what's up with you? Come on, you want to come up here? Come on. Look at this. What's wrong with you, Roxy? Roxy's bugging out. You barking. Everybody's trying to sleep, and you barking. What's wrong with you? You okay? She's sad. I gotta take her for a little walk out here. RKO is the thing. Yeah. No, the craziest thing, right? Now we talking about wrestling, man. I'll leave it. This will be like the last thing we talk about, right? Was remember DX, Triple H, and all of them? We used to go to school and be like, suck it. We was dumb, man. It was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. Just like going around telling people to suck it and stuff, man. That's not what you want to do. Not these days, anyway. The hell is this, man? Yep. But I appreciate you guys, man. I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna go take my dog outside for a little bit. She's like going crazy out here. I appreciate it. Look, all things considered, right? I get it. It's the Nationals. It's not a big deal. But at least we won. We need to start stacking up wins. Just keep winning. And not really, I don't want to scoreboard watch too much. Just hopefully these guys over there, Toronto and Boston, they'll start losing games. We just got to keep winning. Keep focusing on winning. One game at a time, right? One game at a time. And hopefully things turn around, right? Hopefully it turns around, especially the first 2 weeks of September. It's going to be real tough for this team. But I think, with all that being said, I still have faith. Well, it's not a lot, though. I'm going to be honest. But I'm hoping, I wouldn't say faith. I'm hoping that this team could just a miracle. Please, God, give me a miracle. And, right? I don't want another year, right? No World Series, no nothing with this team. So hopefully, man, we need a parade. Look, I haven't been in New York in a few years. The Yankees win, I'll be there. And you guys, my cousin Bam Bam. Me and Bam Bam have been to every parade in our lifetime. As far as the Yankees winning, yeah, I haven't missed a parade. Even when I joined in 2009, I was in the Army. I was in Fort Stewart, Georgia. When they won, right, the parade, I literally drove all the way from Georgia, like 12 hours, drove all the way there to the parade, and then drove all the way back to make it in time for formation. Yeah, man, I'm not missing another parade. So hopefully we get a parade soon. I appreciate you guys, man. Have a blessed night, everybody. That's going to do it for me. See you next time, guys. Tomorrow. Peace. See, Bam, it has your name there. I told you it got your name.